Look at this beautiful backyard sitting area. Oh my, I just want to sit right there with a book and look out over that. So this is called hair algae. It just kind of grows like moss on the rocks. You could literally use a few different products if you wanted to control it. One of the ones that we use mostly is the Iogen. It's a healthy plant. When you have a pond that doesn't have algae, that's when you have problems. But if you want to control it, use an Iogen or a string algae buster, which will reduce it. It is a gorgeous day in Wake Forest, North Carolina. I am with Saundra Springer.
This one's about a year old. We had to bring everything in down the side, so it was a huge mess.
We love it when our clients landscape well. All right, let's check out this beautiful aquascape ecosystem pond. And of course, the first thing you hear right before you even turn the corner is the water feature. Wow, I like this fancy patio here.
Isn't this beautiful?
Some nice fish.
Yeah, she loves her fish. That was the primary reason for her pond, was that she's a big koi person.
Yeah, so it's a pretty deep pond. It looks like it's a good 3.5 feet deep there.
There's a wetland construction and there's an intake bay on this end. Because she has such large fish, we wanted to give her the maximum amount of filtration. The grade change is a lot more than you would think here. So we ended up putting some giant boulders all raising it all the way up, and then digging out for the pond and putting that in. So on this job, it was a collaboration. We had Sean and April from Naturescape and Don Stone, who came in with them.
So one of the things about the Certified Aquascape Contractor program is when you get into bigger projects or maybe more technical jobs, sometimes the CAC network will work together with each other. They came all the way from New Hampshire to help you down in North Carolina. You guys spent about a week on this?
We did.
Some parrot feathers, once again some wood. Look at this little double split waterfalls here. Got snails. So this is an ecosystem. So what we like to say to people about water features is it's not supposed to look like a sterile environment. This is a healthy, natural environment. You got the landscaping, you got the fish, you've got snails, you've got some algae, and this is very healthy. The fish will literally pick up the gravel, chew off the algae, chew out the bacteria. It's a healthy looking, functioning ecosystem pond.
Live in the basement. They merged to make it easier as you get older.
And didn't you say they had a pond at their old house?
They did, and it was a lot of problems for her. We busted pipes, UV lights that didn't work, and it was constant.
Traditional koi pond built pond versus an ecosystem.
Straight liner down, deck around it. It looked very nice in her backyard, very zen-like, but it was just the issues with trying to maintain it and keep the water clear. So she's been very impressed. The water's been crystal clear ever since this was put in.
And lower maintenance because she doesn't have to back flush koi filters.
Yep.
Once a year clean out on the wetland filtration system. So part of the things that takes a lot in construction is this yard typically was sloping away, but you want a waterfall facing towards the house, so you've got to build up in the back.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, some big rocks back here.
Yeah, it's a shame you don't get to see these from the front because they're gorgeous boulders, but they serve a very good purpose back here. One of the biggest challenges we had was this tree. She had picked 2 of these trees.
Oh yeah,
to install.
it definitely goes with her koi theme.
It definitely does. But once we had gotten the wetland done and we had the retaining walls back here, the landscaper was supposed to put it in, and they showed up with no equipment, and then they were going to use a skid steer, but they were going to just drop it in.
Yeah.
And with our aqua blocks and stuff in there, I'm like, no. So Sean was really good about staying with me late that night, and we got the tree put in for her. So
yeah, very. That's a
pond.
cool tree. Typical backyard. Atypical backyard. I picked this one.
Loving the fish, huh?
I'm loving the fish.
Her kids had some friends over, and one of them came out here and he took his shoes off and sat down and put his feet in here, and one of the fish came up and just allowed himself to be pet and played with. And she's like, this kid was just overwhelmed. She's like, we kind of take it for granted. You know, my kids are like, this pond's in the backyard. It's just, everybody has one. But they don't. And the child was just so taken by it all and really enjoyed that moment.
We need kids spending more time in nature and not on electronics and video games.
Exactly.
This has got a lot of fish and they're koi lovers, and so Saundra designed the ultimate koi filter, which is a wetland filter. So this is the filter. Look at how beautiful it looks, filled with these plants and the rocks and the gravel. And so you have aqua blocks and a snorkel and a centipede under here, right?
We do, yep. And it catches all of the muck and debris, and so we come out and we clean it out once a year. We'll open up the cap to the centipede and we'll go down. And,
which I'm guessing is right there, the cap.
Yep, it's right behind the driftwood. Exactly.
People that have koi ponds think that you have to do back flushes every week and there's external filters. And a lot of times the filter systems are housed in a separate building. Here, this is the filter system. And it cleans out how often?
Oh, we clean that once a year.
And look at the water quality. Healthy Japanese koi living in there. Keep it simple, silly. And we're going to absolutely put a link in here below to what a wetland filtration is all about. So if you're interested in learning more about a simple way, a natural way, you look at the snails growing down there and roots from the plants. And look at the water quality. Probably 10% of the size of the pond, maybe 15% is this wetland filter. Look at how the plants have softened off the ground. If that was just a big boulder right there, it would look out of scale and out of touch. But when you soften it up with the plants that will grow over it, like the sedums and the ground covers and aquatic mint down there, it just makes it so much nicer. Softens it up. And you know what's most amazing about this, Saundra? This is a 1-year-old pond. It's only going to look nicer as the plants mature and age and everything fills in.
That's exactly what the homeowner said when I was out here last. She was so excited. She can't believe how nice it looks now.
Yeah.
And she just can't wait because she knows it's just going to get better and better.
It is an absolutely beautiful day in Wake Forest, North Carolina. And it is a pond or a pondless?
The pondless.
All right, so this is a 1.5-year old pondless waterfall.
Yep.
So explain how a pondless waterfall works for people that don't understand it.
We have a basin that we dug in the ground. It's roughly a 4x4, 2 feet deep. And we put a vault and aqua blocks in there. So we create a reservoir for the water that keeps the pump running. So you want roughly 2 times the amount of water that you have in circulation. So if the pump cuts off, there's still enough water in there to keep everything going when you turn it back on.
I love the little pathway here leading up to the little seating area up here. Beautiful Japanese maple at the very apex of the waterfalls. You got a diffuser spillway here, right?
Yes,
that
sir.
recirculates the water down.
Yep.
And then look at that gorgeous house. What was their original goal? Why did they want a water feature?
Originally they wanted a 4-foot pondless, and when I came out and started talking to them about with the scale of the backyard and the way the slope was, I wanted it much bigger. So we ended up with 12. I would have been happy with 20 because I think starting it further back where you couldn't tell where it was coming from, and then running it down past.
It was a budget thing probably, right?
Budget thing.
What was the budget for this?
I want to say this feature came in around 8.
When you're talking about an $8,000 water feature, that's for a 20-foot long stream, that's for for all the excavation, the underlayment, the liner, the rock work, the pumping, the filter system, everything.
Everything except the water.
Of course, we always add lights because at nighttime, it lights this up like a Christmas tree, and so many people, including them, are working during the day, so they're home at night to enjoy it. Yeah, it would have been nice if it came all the way down. Yeah. It's still a beautiful slope, and like a 4-foot would have been too small. The average consumer buys 3 water features: big, bigger, biggest. This is big, and we're gonna go with bigger and biggest later. So well, how about a pond right down here with the stepping stones that go through it? I can already envision it. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, this is just part of the pond. That'd be really pretty. The spring algae down and keep everything working properly, we installed an auto doser. So underneath this rock here, we have the panel, and on the inside of it, there's a bag, and it's like an IV system for your pond.
And the nice thing about the doser is it always adds a little bit of bacteria. So every day, just a little bit. So you're constantly causing the new bacteria to breed in there.
So it's an IV drip for your pond, basically.
Yep. Aquascape is a manufacturer of water feature equipment. One of the reasons that we do this vlog is to show people how they can improve their experience with water features. If you have a water feature right now and you're manually adding water treatments, get an auto doser. There's 4 different types of treatments depending on what's going on with your water feature that you can add, and it does it automatically for you. It improves the consumer experience with water features so that you can sit back and enjoy your water feature. I love my job.